first time Jennifer Lopez speaking out to Interview magazine about her divorce from husband Ben Affleck, telling Nikki Glazer her world exploded, saying, quote, "It feels lonely, unfamiliar, scary. It feels sad. It feels desperate."
During the federal raids on Sean Diddy Combs' homes in Los Angeles and Miami earlier this year, it was reported that Diddy had cameras everywhere in his house and that he kept videotapes of prominent people engaging in compromising actions and illicit activities hidden in his safe.
Ben has a key that can come and go as he pleases, and he spends a lot of time at her place, coming over for dinner and playing with the kids. An insider told Closer, "The children enjoy having him around, and it's beneficial for his mental health."
Ben Affleck finding comfort in his past.
It's really quite an experience.
ET's learned the actor's leaning on his ex, Jennifer Garner, amid his divorce from Jennifer Lopez.
It's great.
Oh God, the Bennifer saga just took the most shocking turn yet. After all the drama with J-Lo, Ben Affleck is now sparking rumors about getting back together with his ex-wife Jennifer Garner. They've been spending so much time together since his split from J-Lo, and get this. Sources close to Jen Garner are saying she's already ended things with John Miller, like she's actually hoping for a second chance with Ben. But honey, let me tell you about J-Lo's reaction. She is absolutely fuming. When those photos came out showing Ben looking all cozy with Jennifer Garner, J-Lo completely lost it. And can we talk about how miserable Ben always looked with J-Lo? I mean, the man could barely fake a smile on the red carpet. The tea is that J-Lo really thought Ben would come crawling back to her. She never saw this coming. But wait, because this gets even juicier. What really pushed Ben over the edge? Word on the street is it has everything to do with J-Lo's alleged connection to the Diddy scandal. Insiders are spilling that when the feds raided Diddy's properties in March, they found some pretty incriminating tapes of J-Lo. And isn't it interesting that Ben packed up and left their mansion just weeks after those raids? And Jennifer Garner? She's always been super protective of her kids, and apparently she was really worried about how this whole J-Lo Diddy mess could affect them. The burning question now is, what's J-Lo going to do if she gets dragged into the Diddy case when the trial starts? Is that why she's so mad that Ben is spending all his time with Jennifer Garner?
J-Lo candid that it's been hard, but she's doing a lot of self-reflecting, saying, when you get to a point where you think that you've learned the lessons and then it blows up in your face again, you realize, okay, I haven't. So what is it that I need to look at right now?
Well, she still got her beauty, her booty, and her bank account, so bye boy to him.
Let's talk about Thanksgiving, because that's when everything really started becoming clear. This was the first turkey day without Bennifer 2.0, and Ben, he seemed totally fine with it. He spent the holiday with Jen Garner and their kids, volunteering at the Midnight Mission in downtown LA. Meanwhile, poor J-Lo was all alone, posting sad Instagram photos and limiting comments, probably to avoid all those questions about Ben and Diddy. Now, seeing Ben and Jen together at family events isn't exactly shocking, but Page 6 noticed something different this time. Ben was looking extra cozy with his ex-wife, even whispering in her ear. And then this source drops this cryptic comment to People magazine saying Ben is now very happy with life. Like, what does that even mean? Another insider told Page 6 that Ben feels blessed to spend Thanksgiving with the mother of his kids. They said, even though Ben and Jen have been split for a while now, he feels a certain level of comfort with her. And let's be real, fans have always noticed that Jen Garner might be the only woman Ben ever seemed truly happy with, even with paparazzi everywhere.
Affleck's addiction to alcohol sent him to rehab for the third time and put a strain on his personal life. In 2018, he was seen in this photo being driven to a treatment facility by his ex-wife, Jennifer Garner. The 47-year-old calls his divorce from the actress, quote, "the biggest regret of my life."
Now that Ben's sober, sources say he's getting all nostalgic about his marriage to Jennifer Garner. And get this, apparently Jen never really stopped caring about Ben. She's always had a soft spot for him, even after everything that happened. The way they're spending so much time together now, I mean, anything could happen. Ben recently spilled some tea about why he feels so comfortable with Jen. They both love that low-key life and protecting their privacy. But J-Lo? complete opposite. Ben even said in J-Lo's documentary that she's basically addicted to attention, the same way he was addicted to alcohol. Like, that's a pretty heavy comparison.
The thing you discover, like you do with alcohol, is that there isn't enough alcohol in all the liquor stores in the world to fill up that thing. And in Jennifer's case, I don't think there's enough followers or movies or records or any of the stuff to still that part of you that still feels a longing and pain. Ultimately, that's the work that you've got to do on your own.
The tea from Ben's inner circle is steaming hot. They're saying he absolutely couldn't stand how J-Lo was always airing out their dirty laundry. Like, she was more focused on how their relationship looked to the public than actually working on their marriage.
Ben has gotten very good at biting his tongue, but it's known that he's not happy at all about J-Lo's endless need for attention, an insider revealed to the publication. The Argo actor found it incomprehensible that his spouse Lopez wished to make their private lives public. I've always thought that things that are private are precious and unique because they are, at least somewhat, secret. In light of this, I had to make some adjustments, Affleck remarked in a previous interview.
And here's the thing that's absolutely mind-blowing. J-Lo should have known better. Remember when she and Ben called off their first engagement back in 2004? It was because of all the crazy media attention. J-Lo even admitted later that it was the biggest heartbreak of her life.
It was the biggest heartbreak of my life. And I honestly felt like I was gonna die. It sent me on a spiral for the next 18 years where I couldn't get it right.
So when Bennifer 2.0 happened in 2021, everyone thought this was it, their fairy tale ending. J-Lo was going around saying Ben was definitely the one, and that this time it would last forever. Oh, honey.
When I was reunited with the love of my life, and we decided we were gonna be together forever.
But if J-Lo knew the media attention ruined things the first time, why on earth would she make an entire documentary about their relationship? Spilling all their intimate details? I mean, Ben was spot on comparing her need for attention to his struggles with alcohol. And now? Ben's friends are practically begging him to forget about J-Lo and give it another shot with Jen Garner. Speaking of which, there's this fresh tea about Jen's now ex, John Miller. Apparently, he couldn't handle how close she still was with Ben. According to sources, John feels it's intimidating that she is still so close to Ben. But John isn't the only one feeling some type of way about Ben and Jen getting closer. J-Lo is absolutely losing it seeing Ben out and about with Garner, telling everyone how he's finally happy and at peace. And let me spill this scalding hot tea. Last year, when those marriage trouble rumors started, there was talk that J-Lo was trying to turn Jen Garner's kids against their own mother.
Well, there was a solid decade where there were 5 or 6 cars minimum and easily up to 15 or 20 on the weekends outside of my house at all times. And looking back on that, I really feel the stress of it. I could cry talking about it. I had to really get serious with myself and say, this is not healthy. Nobody should see pictures of themselves that paparazzi have taken. You can, in the morning, you can either be making breakfast for your kids, making their lunch boxes, or you can be getting paparazzi ready. And so, I know which way I'm gonna go.
J-Lo was not happy about Jen Garner still being in the picture, so she allegedly started undermining Jen's parenting. Meanwhile, Jen was getting more and more frustrated with J-Lo's attention-seeking behavior. Sources say Jen was worried that J-Lo's narcissism might rub off on her kids. You see, Jen's always been super vocal about keeping her kids out of the spotlight.
I just said to my kids, show me the articles that prove that social media is good for teenagers, and then we'll have the conversation.
Oh my gosh.
Find scientific evidence that matches what I have that says that it's not good for teenagers, then we'll chat.
And how do they feel at this point?
My eldest is grateful.
Wow. See,
And
you
we'll
just got to be
see.
in the long haul.
I mean, it's a long haul. I have a couple more to go, so just knock on wood. We'll see if I really hang in there.
Well, listen, that is just very inspirational.
Meanwhile, J-Lo's openly admitted she has trouble setting boundaries with her own kids from her marriage to Mark Anthony.
My kids were at that age where they were like challenging the status quo and really, kind of looking at you, and now it's not all like hearts and flowers anymore. Now it's kind of like, why are you telling me to do that? I don't want to do that, just like constantly kind of the push and pull of being a teenage mom.
Is that Max or Remy? Who's the most challenging?
Both of them. Both of them are. Yeah, because they're both really smart. They're both really loving and beautiful.
So when Jen Garner's kids started spending more time with J-Lo and Ben, Jen was seriously worried. Sources say she felt like J-Lo was totally undermining all the values and boundaries she'd worked so hard to establish. I mean, can you imagine? She was literally worried that J-Lo might be trying to turn her own kids against her. And now that Ben and Jen are possibly reconnecting, oh my God. J-Lo is beyond furious and jealous. But here's where it gets really wild. Sources are saying J-Lo is now going after Ben's $150 million fortune. An insider close to J-Lo just spilled all the tea, saying she thinks she deserves compensation because she was basically bankrolling their entire marriage. Let me tell you what this insider told Radar Online, because this is absolutely shocking. One of the little-known secrets is Bennifer paid for much of their marital expenses, and now she feels he owes her. She's literally adding up everything. Private jet bills, hotels, meals, clothes, even coffee runs and gas. The source says she paid the lion's share for that $60 million mansion too. After just 2 years of marriage, J-Lo apparently realized how much Ben was just mooching off her, and now she wants payback. She's demanding a full inventory of what she spent versus what he spent and wants all the money back she invested, the source revealed. And get this, she isn't the one who gave up on their marriage, and she's feeling seriously burned and is out for blood. If he had stayed in the marriage like a good boy, she wouldn't have minded, but he abandoned her. But wait, because there's more to this story. Other sources are saying J-Lo's revenge isn't really about the money at all. She's just humiliated that Ben's back with Jennifer Garner. And some people are suggesting this whole financial drama might be J-Lo's PR strategy to distract from something way bigger, her possible involvement in Diddy's criminal case. Remember back in March, just weeks before J-Lo and Ben split, Natania Rubin, you know, the woman Diddy shot in the face in that 1990 New York nightclub incident, finally broke her silence. And what she said? Absolutely chilling. She claimed her life could be in danger for speaking out about Diddy and J-Lo's alleged involvement in the shooting.
It is my assertion wholeheartedly that Mr. Combs was inappropriately charged originally. His charges should have mirrored that of Mr. Jamal Shine Barrow. He should have been charged with attempted murder, a reckless endangerment, criminal possession of a weapon, and firing that weapon in an open environment. Mr. Combs did not have accountability for what he did. Who better to tell you what happened than the person who got shot smack dab in between my eyes? We know the country we live in. Unfortunately, those who have the money can oftentimes get away with their crimes. Unfortunately, and those who don't have the same social ranking are overlooked. And that's what has happened. By the grace of God, God saw fit to keep me whole, keep my mind sane and functioning, and keep me alive for such a time as this. And make no mistake, the gravity of the danger and the peril that I face and that I'm exposed to for having my say now, for what was done to me 24 years ago, is not lost on me. But let me make clear beyond a shadow of a doubt, I am not now, nor have I ever been suicidal. I love life, and I am grateful that God spared my life back on that fateful day on December 27th, 1999. I'm a living miracle.
Yeah, you are
And
clearly
so,
a
if
very...
anything,
Sorry to
and
interrupt
I'm
you, but
also
you
a
are
healthy
a
woman.
very strong woman. I mean, that is very, very clear. And you have done your research, and you deserve to have your voice heard, which is one of the reasons.
And I think it's important for me to say I'm a healthy woman. I live a simple, quiet, risk-averse life. So if I should meet with an untimely demise, it would require and be worthy of deep investigation. I understand the peril of what I am exposing my life to. If
Yeah,
God
it's disturbing to hear you say that. I mean, but
to have my say, it's disturbing for me to think it and feel it. But I am healthy. I don't have any intentions of going anywhere. I'm grateful that God spared me, and I plan to live out my life to see my children's lives actualized and realized.
J-Lo denied everything, of course, but Natanya isn't buying it. She suggested J-Lo could actually be held accountable for allegedly being Diddy's gun mule if they reopen the case. In her interview with News Nation, Natanya didn't hold back. When I was fighting for my life on an operating table in St. Vincent's Hospital, they had already held Miss Lopez and let her go and dropped her charges after about an hour. This is absolutely ridiculous. And just when you thought this couldn't get any crazier, Suge Knight jumps into the drama. He's making these wild claims about those rumored Diddy tapes. saying the feds actually warned Ben Affleck after raiding Diddy's mansions in March. On his Collect Calls podcast, Suge claimed they found all these videos of J-Lo doing who knows what with Diddy. Not only that, but Sugi dragged J-Lo right back into that 99 nightclub shooting, saying she covered for Diddy and let Shine take the fall. And apparently the feds gave Ben a heads up about these tapes before they come out in Diddy's trial in May.
When they go raid Puffy's house, and they get all these videos of J-Lo doing this and J-Lo doing that, and they know the fact that J-Lo lied and said that the gun was Shine's or whatever, and took that man to prison and destroyed his life, and she knew it was Puffy. I'm quite sure they probably called that the FBI gave respect and a courtesy call to Ben Affleck. It's a white man who got respect in the white world. I'm quite sure they said, we want to show you some things. It's about your wife. When he sees this that her and Puffy was doing and who they were doing it with, I'm quite sure they gave his ass those tapes. And I'm quite sure he can never look at her the same. I'm quite sure they heading for a divorce. Because, you know, that's a man who had a good life. Great parents, don't spend a lot of money, ain't tripping out paparazzi. He living his life. He got his own team. She done brought all the extra that motherfucker. He won't out. He stayed married to J-Lo, he'd be broke. Instead of just doing movies, he'd be doing Yum Yum Donuts commercials. Next thing he'd be doing these Jack in the Box commercials.
Now here's the most shocking part. New reports are saying Jennifer Garner gave Ben an ultimatum. If he wanted another chance with her, he had to completely cut ties with J-Lo before all this Diddy drama hits the courtroom. But let's be honest, Ben was probably going to break up with J-Lo anyway. I mean, did you see how miserable he looked, even on their wedding day? The Diddy situation was just the final straw. What do you guys think? Did Ben really dump J-Lo to get ahead of all this messy Diddy stuff coming out? And what bombshells about J-Lo might drop when Diddy's case hits the courtroom? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and stick around because this story is far from over. This has got to be one of the messiest Hollywood breakups we've seen in years, and something tells me we haven't heard the last of it. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because trust me, you do not want to miss what happens next in this absolutely wild Hollywood saga.